Good morning. It is 6:48 on November 13th. It is the morning of my explant surgery. I'm just laying down because I have 2 hours before the start time of my surgery, and it's only going to take 20 minutes to get there. So I have been sleeping only about 5.5 or 6 hours a night, and last night was no exception. I tried to get really tired so that I could sleep in, until 7, but alas, I was up at 4. So I showered and I braided my hair and I walked my dog and I got my water ready for after surgery. I can't drink anything until after. I can't eat anything either, but I'm more just fixated on the fact that I'm really, really parched. But other than that, just showered. I'm wearing a button-down shirt. It's going to be easier to put on after the surgery, and then just some cozy sweatpants. But this is how we're rolling into the clinic, and I'm getting my explant done at Dr. Xinqing. He put them in 2.5 years ago through the armpit, so I have really barely visible scars left over from that, and that is how they will be exiting. While I didn't plan for a full or an en-bloc capsulectomy, he will do his best to just pull, the implant out with the capsule if it comes. We'll see how that goes. So even though it's not a plan, if it comes out, it comes out, and if it doesn't, then that's okay. I'm not worried about that, and because I didn't plan for it, I just didn't want to get my hopes up. So I was watching actually a woman's video from YouTube. I follow her on Instagram, and I'm so sorry, I forget her name. But she was similar surgery, not through the armpit, but she got her implants out, left the capsule, and she took a supplement after to help the detox process, and she essentially took that to help with the scar tissue and just, I don't know if it's supposed to help, the scar tissue will soften, it might not dissolve completely. Everybody has a different thought or thinking process about this. Some people think that, you have to get the capsule out. If you don't get the capsule out, you're just setting yourself up for future inflammation. And then I've done other research from doctors and also people who have left their capsules in and feel great, that it at least softens and shrinks. And whether or not it completely dissolves and disappears is, I think it's just a matter of whether or not it causes future harm. And from what I understand and what I've researched, that the differences in post-surgery from those who leave their capsules in that are healthy capsules, granted soft, healthy capsules, if they're hardened, they have to come out. That's capsular contracture, and that can be dangerous. But my capsules are very, very soft and healthy, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just came out with the implant, but I am no doctor. So anyway, I'm taking this supplement, which when I get the name, I will include it. I'll even show a photo, but it should help with the detox process. And other people, also suggest things like activated charcoal and bentonite clay and lots of things for detoxing. And I'm sure I'll go down the route of some gentle detoxing, but I also trust that my body is so fully equipped to flush what's not needed. And I really do believe in my body's intelligence to recuperate after this. So now that I'm over just the fear of anesthesia, just being put out, I think that's just it just triggers control stuff, right? Because we're so wired for control that for somebody to take our consciousness away through an injection or whatever IV they plug in or mask, I can't remember what the anesthesia is going to look like, is a lot. It's a really big surrender. But it was only 2.5 years ago that I went under general anesthesia, and I woke up just fine. And I've been thinking about these implants, I've been thinking about what I think and feel about them. I've been thinking about their aesthetic value that they bring to my body. I mean, my doctor really did do an incredible job. They look great. I had lots of loose skin from breastfeeding for 6 years, and he put in an implant that would fill the saggy, loose skin. It wasn't so big of an implant that it stretched my skin out a lot. So the loose skin was, from breastfeeding, and also a little bit of weight loss afterwards. Not that much, but just not a lot of fat storage on my body. So the first place it's going to go is, when it has nowhere else to go, is going to go from the boobs. So aesthetically, at least, that's how I justified having them. But I'm not worried about having a flat chest. I'm not really worried about loose skin. I am more concerned with, or curious and excited about, having my energy back. And it's not because I don't have any energy. I just know what it's like to have Katie energy. And it's been affected over the last couple years. And I can't imagine making any more concessions for this for the next 5 or 10 years, So I'd just rather get these out, heal, detox, nourish, and then strap my shoes on and maybe go for a few more runs that I normally would. I used to love to run, and especially loving listening to my music. And it's been a really long time since I exercised that pastime. And I want to do other things like dance, and I want to go roller skating, and those are things that I love too. And even, this sounds funny, but like getting my back adjusted at the chiropractor and getting that done without any concern at all. Because I've had my back adjusted in the past because I had some spinal inflammation. And there was a point where I was like, okay, just don't press too hard because I've got implants and I don't want them to rupture. And there was one adjustment I had one time where I was like, I actually felt like my chest hurt after. I just don't want those thoughts anymore. Like I don't want to allow anything to get between me and the other necessary healing that I do for myself just because of life. If I throw my back out, or if I need an adjustment, or, my biggest passion is just being in the yoga studio. And thankfully I'm not there's no great impediment to practicing with having breast implants, but I do feel more stretching in my chest when I move, and maybe I'll regain some mobility with them out. Maybe I'll take deeper breaths. I mean, that's what a lot of women say, is when their implants are out, they take deep, fantastic, cathartic breaths. And I'm excited and curious to know if that will also be my experience. So other than that, I have this list of things that, were basic things that would just set me up for success and feel like I was kind of crossing T's and dotting I's, such as getting all of my plants watered and making sure that my pets are squared away and the litter box is, emptied but full of fresh litter, and the, food bowls are full, and I've got meal prep in the fridge. I've got bone broth and a tuna salad, and I air fried a bunch of tofu that's been marinating in a teriyaki sauce. I've got some fresh fruit. I've got electrolytes. I've got magnesium. I've got collagen, and other things that I just plan on focusing on are just, protein, bone broth, collagen, rest, water. I'm also excited to have my coffee. I don't know if I'll have it today, but I set it up so it's ready to go for when I'm ready. An avid coffee drinker, but I don't drink more than 1 cup a day, but I live for that 1 cup. And then just walking. And I'm cleared for walking. They pretty much said you can start walking within a few days. So I have no doubt that I will be strapping on my shoes and getting outside or going on the treadmill. My mom is here visiting and helping with the kids they'll be in school. I'll also be working next week. I'm do telehealth for my therapy, my private practice. So I'm not unable to work, but they'll be staying at a hotel and there'll be a gym there. So I can jump on the treadmill and plug in a good podcast and get a good walk in. And yeah, I have no doubt that my body will bounce back really quickly. I have all the faith in that. And I have faith in God too, working through my body, working through nourishing foods, working through my family, working through my breath. And then when now that my house is set up, the food is prepped, my kids are good. I don't go back to work till Monday. Today's Thursday. So what else can you do but surrender? When you've done everything that you can, and now it's just a matter of time and waiting and sitting here parched as MF, there's just waiting. There's just surrendering. And yeah, and in some anticipation, I've got my journal handy by my side too, and I can do some thought dumping. There are some things that I'm really grateful that I have cleared out of my life and my environment, such as I haven't drank alcohol for 2.5 years. So just having that out of my life helps me to know that my body is super resilient. And sugar, I actually had some white chocolate last night stuffed inside dates. Oh my God, if you haven't had that. Some people say white chocolate's too sweet, but it's literally my favorite thing. So that's the extent of my sugar consumption. Other than that, I just eat fruit and sweet potatoes and veggies and protein and stuff. But yeah, I don't lean on things that would otherwise cause lots of inflammation. So that helps me feel assured that my body's well supported to detoxify just as it needs to. So I will keep you posted. But yeah, got at this rate now 1.5 hours till my surgery, and I'm not attached at all. And I know that helps. I don't feel any more loved or accepted by people because of having implants. I don't feel more beautiful because I have them. I don't think they contribute to anything other than an aesthetic. Just, they give my body a little bit more shape, and I think I will create, or I don't even think I have to create. I think there is the shape of my heart, there's the shape of my personality, there's the shape of my energy that contribute just as much, if not more, to who I am than having implants. So I just want to take out this mystery factor in reasons why I might not be feeling my best. Because I am definitely here. This is my one life to feel my best. Without exception. Non-negotiable. If something's in the way of me feeling my best, that thing needs to go. Right? That's my rule. So these are going to go. And we will see. And either way, even if I get them out and I'm like, oh, I feel 70% better, I think that's enough. Because there will always be other factors in how to support myself in feeling my best, right? Adequate sleep, lots of hydration, good nourishment, therapy, my own therapy, not just being a therapist to my people. Doing the deeper work, seeing my shadow for what it is, avoiding projection, those bigger defense mechanisms that disguise themselves, exercise, loving friendships and relationships. God, my tummy is rumbling. I'm so hungry. Okay, and then final note before I close this out. My first meal when I get back, I'm going to drink 32 ounces of water right off the bat, if not more. I'm going to take my arnica, which is it helps to prevent swelling and bruising. And then I'm going to have some tuna salad, I think, and a papaya. And then a little bit later, I'm going to have some bone broth. And then we'll see how I feel for the rest of the day. Maybe I'll have some tofu. And I have this little veggie thing that I made the other day with coconut milk and some seasoning, but I want to keep it simple the first day of recovery. But yes, a little fantasy of my first meal. Okay, I will bid you adieu, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, boobies.